you were the girl that would always make friends and then feel like, wait, this isn't working for me anymore. Why can I not connect with these people on a deeper level? The not so fun friend and wasn't invited to parties because everyone knew you would rather be in bed. Welcome to Thought Daughter Diaries, a podcast for the thought daughters, the overthinkers, the feelers. This podcast is not just another self-help, self-development, boring ass advice podcast. It's a safe space for us thought daughters to unpack and think out loud and come together and really create a community, because some podcasts are too surface level in my opinion, and there's no community for the thought daughters, so I'm here to build one. I'm going to start with some backstory and with some lore so you can believe me that I am really a thought daughter and I really go through these things too. First of all, my name is Evie Bella. I'm 18 years old. Feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like an alien. I feel like I'm constantly on this path of outgrowing people where I sometimes like being self-aware and deep, and a deep thought daughter girly is such a blessing, but it's also a curse because it's like, wait, slow down. Like I want to be normal and I want to fit in and be able to like the things that everyone else around me is liking at my age and go clubbing and go partying and be able to feel like I fit in somewhere, but I don't. I don't want to be like, I'm not like other girls, but like I'm serious. Like I've always felt really different and out of place compared to most kids, most girls my age. I never really had a party phase. I think I went to one party throughout my whole entire teenage years because I literally just did not enjoy it, other than schoolies. But even then I was in bed by 11 p.m. I would try my hardest to enjoy partying and to enjoy drinking, and like I turned 18 in October last year. It's now May and I still haven't stepped a single foot inside of a club. I was the friend where in middle school, high school, I had shitty friends anyways that I didn't even really like. But in middle school and high school, I would not get invited to things just because they knew like I'd say no anyway. So what's the point? But the point is being invited. Like it's nice, but I literally never got invited to things because I wasn't the fun friend. Everyone was just like, oh, Evie will understand. She'll be at home journaling or like watching YouTube or something. Like she won't want to come and party with us. You're right, I didn't, but it's like I was never included in things because people just overlooked me. I did have an era where I really tried to fit in and tried to please my friends and like would do things that were just not at all in my moral compass. I would engage in surface level conversations and pretend like I was really into it when I really was just like, girl, I had this revelation when I was 9. I've gone through a lot of trauma in my life. I lost my dad nearly 2 years ago. I was kicked out of the friend group in middle school. All these things I feel like built up and happened to me to shake me up and be like, girl, just accept you're different. Just accept it and move forward. It's sad because some girlies like us never have that awakening, or it's unfortunate because I don't want anything bad or terrible or life-changing, altering to happen to anyone. But some people need that. Some special people need that to wake them up and put them on the right path and just accept like you're in a different ball game to most people. I feel like the older I get, and the older I've gotten, the more I've actually gone deeper into the woo-woo shit. Like I love the universe. I love learning about frequencies. I love learning about manifestation. I love learning about soulmates and crystals and just nature and everything we are really put here to do. And that is a little confronting because if you tell someone like, yeah, we connected because I manifested you, or we're on the same frequency wavelength, or the reason why you're attracting guys that cheat on you that you meet on Snapchat is because you are an undeveloped feminine energy. They're just like, huh? And that pretty much sums up my friendships. Schoolies, for example, if you've been to schoolies, you know how wild it is. If you're not Australian, basically after Australian kids leave high school, we get the choice to travel to like Fiji, go to the Gold Coast where I'm from, which I did not want to go to Surfers Paradise because if you know, you know. Bali, there's so many different locations that host schoolies, and it's basically just like a big week straight of partying. And me and my friend Lucia decided to go to Fiji for schoolies, and I was really excited about it, more so because I was going to Fiji, and also I thought like maybe if I didn't want to drink I could just explore the island. Like I really didn't wasn't too phased about that part. The parties were going till 2 a.m. every night. I was in bed by 11, girl, and the party started at 9. And this was only 7 months ago. And I remember like forcing myself, like even then from November to now, I've grown so much as a person, and it wasn't even that long ago. I was practically forcing myself to stay just even a minute longer at those parties, let alone step foot into them, because it gave me anxiety. Like party environments, there's so much energy in the room and like collective consciousness, surface level people. Like I did not enjoy it, I'll be honest. Of course, it's different when you're dancing and having a good time with your friends. Like I love that. I love a good cocktail night. Like say like you and the girlies are over at each other's houses, having dinner, like having fun. I'm all for a bit of that. But like surface level partying with people who you just don't even know, I just can't get behind that. It's taken me a while to like accept that and be like, it's actually fine. Like everyone says the teenage experience, you're supposed to be out having fun, drinking, getting up to no good or whatever. I think that's so old school. I think it's it's not propaganda. That's not the right word. It's such I don't know, like, no, what if I just don't enjoy that? And I think because everyone our age is in that type of era where they just want to do that and they just want to go clubbing and talk to boys and talk to girls or whatever it is, it's hard to find people that don't do that. But I guess I'm a prime example, and I know you guys are the same if you're watching this. It can be really lonely, and it can be really like, why am I like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I different? Why am I not connecting with people? It's not that we're not connecting. It's that we crave deeper connections, and surface level just doesn't do it for us. And that's okay. The first step to it really is accepting like I was not made for surface level connections, and that's fine. My parents never overlooked or thought my introspection was something else, like I'm isolating myself or something. I think my friends don't understand boundaries sometimes, and they don't understand like it's so much deeper than it actually looks for me. Maybe that's a bad thing, that I'm too deep into things sometimes, like energetically and all that kind of stuff. For some more lore, I own a jewelry brand, which is all the jewelry that I wear, Libra the label. I also do content and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like my focus 99.9% of the time is on Libra the label, my content. How do I get better? How do I grow with this? How do I strive? Like I'm really focused on myself and my future and my career. Some people at this age might not understand that. Like I had a therapy session and she said to me, like, when you're having fun, you're not really having fun. You just got to be a kid. You just got to have fun. What if I am having fun? What if I do have fun by growing a brand? What if I just have different priorities to everyone else? And I really do think that. Like I really do think that my introspection and my soul and how I am as a person and my priorities can be overlooked as like, you're too serious all the time. Yes, there's room where I could absolutely evolve and have fun, and I'm going to lie back for this conversation. Hold on. I could probably spend more time having fun and being a kid and all that, but that doesn't mean I have to go clubbing. That doesn't mean I have to go partying. That doesn't mean I have to Snapchat boys and time wasters. And if you don't find that fun, don't force yourself. That's torture. I have my notes here because I, like to keep organized and whatnot. I just want to let you know that this part of you is such a superpower. It's a gift. It's a 1% of the population that a lot of kids our age in your 20s don't have. It's something that a lot of people may have in the future, but until they get to their like 40s or 50s and they have a midlife crisis, and then they realize they've spent all this time ignoring this part of themselves just to please surface level connections or stay in a comfort bubble. I really believe that my introspection has made me a better friend. It's made me a better self-aware girly. It's given me a better connection to the universe. Like I've learned so much about myself. It's also made me a bit of an empath. Like I feel like being introspective, it's a curse, don't get me wrong, but it's also a blessing, because if I do something wrong and I'm in an argument with someone, I can also take accountability and be like, you know what, I stuffed up, and also I can so see it from your point of view. There's so many instances recently that have come up in my life where I've really thought about my connections and my friendships, and I'm like, maybe I have bent my boundaries a little too much by like overdoing it and trying to please everyone and hold the friendship up together. But if I stopped doing that and stopped helping my friends, holding their hands through their issues and their problems and trying to fix everything and come up with solutions for them, would we even be friends anymore? Not even on them. That's because I've allowed that, and that's an accountability thing. I really, really, really don't want anyone who listens to my podcast and we build this little community to think that because you're different, it's a bad thing, because it's like I said, it's a gift. Your softness and your depth is a gift, and depth is rare. I can count on one single hand people that I've met that are anything similar to me, and one of them is myself. For an example, and I know this is going to come up at one point, so I'm just going to bring it up. We may do a future episode about this. A lot of my friends are in relationships. A lot of them are in situationships. A lot of them have had multiple relationships in their little teenage lifespan, and I hate this whole stigma of you are a failure, or like you're missing out if you don't experience a teenage relationship or love or whatever. I have never in my life been in a relationship, and if I have, I was like 12, so that doesn't count. I'm starting to realize now, like, yes, it's sad, and sometimes I do wish. In ChatGPT, we're having this conversation last night. You're not going to find your man on Snapchat. I'm really sorry. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. He's not on Snapchat. Those are the types of men that will text you at 1 a.m. like, what are you doing? Don't ask me what I'm doing, for starters. That's an ick to me. I don't know if it is to you. I would prefer not to fill the gaps just to feel better about myself with time wasting men. I'm going to be honest. I don't get approached. I don't get DM'd. Like, I got no roster, period. And I know it's not because I'm lacking in this department, because girl face card is valid. But I know that energetically something about me, like I know I'm shifting and I'm going to attract the right person, because something about me is evolving to the point where I believe that people who are time wasters, like any surface level connections, I physically cannot attract them anymore because I'm so energetically removed and like shut off from it. I mean, that's a story I tell myself, so I feel a little better about it. But I really think that's the case, is that they just don't even try anymore because I'm not in that energetic field. I don't have Snapchat. I'm not ready to communicate. If you're just going to give me bullshit, I'm not here for it. I have really embraced my way of living, my brain, my mind, because now I'm in safe environments. I mean, I graduated school, I was homeschooled. I have embraced this part of myself and romanticized it as a gift instead of the opposite, because I feel like my whole entire life I was made to feel like I was the one in the wrong. I was the weird one. I was the unfun friend. I was the overlooked friend. Now that I've accepted it, I feel like I'm attracting more and more friends that are a lot like me. When I was in those spaces of feeling like I couldn't be myself, I would shrink and fit into those spaces. But now I feel like, because I've accepted it and it's a part of myself that I've embraced, and it is the part of myself, like it is who I am, I won't allow anyone into my space or my circle that doesn't accept that part of me now. Why would I? I'm not going to shut a part of myself off just to make someone else comfortable. Like, this is who I am, and I'm so glad that I've embraced that now. That's the purpose of this podcast, is I want to build a community of people so you feel seen and comforted and heard. You're not crazy for being deep or overthinking. Like, this is the Thought Daughter space to come to every Thursday. I will give you advice. I will help you. We can help each other, maybe even make a group chat. Like, I just really want to help people, and I know that these people are out there because you're watching. Also, backlaw about me is my American accent comes out every second sentence. I don't know why. I really don't. I'm going to give you some takeaways to reframe this mindset that being different is weird, being deep is too much for people and you have to shrink. Write some notes down, put them on a sticky note, put them on your mirror so you can see them. If you feel hyper emotional, too deep, too much of an overthinker, this whole thing we've been talking about today, and someone doesn't accept that or understand that, don't see that as a you issue. For whatever reason you don't align, that person hasn't reached your level of emotional maturity yet. And that's not a bad thing on them. That's just not their journey. Maybe they're not an introspective type of person, and that's fine. You can't expect you from everyone. And this is a huge thing for me, is I still have friends in my life that I don't necessarily get deep with, but we connect on other levels. Like, we have a laugh together. They get my sense of humor. They just want to go shopping with me. We have the same style. Like, you put your friends into categories, but you also can't expect all of your friends to be on the same wavelength as you in every single aspect. Trust me, I've tried and it doesn't work. Let people be who they are. Let people show you who they are. Silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. I was always and always have been the observer of conversations. Like I really only speak when spoken to or feel like I need to, say something, say my piece. But most of the time I just keep it to myself, and that's really confidence. I think the loudest people in rooms are usually the most insecure because they're fighting for attention. This is a deep point. You did not fail at being a teenager just because you were overlooked. People didn't invite you to things. You were craving substance and deep connections in a world that is very surface level and in an era that is very surface level. Because being a teenager is one thing, but growing up in the social media Gen Z age is another thing on top of that. For some of us, we are forced. Like I said, I went through so many traumatic big things in my life to shake me up and put me on the right path and isolate me, really, to fix myself up and go back to my authentic self. And I'm still learning and growing every day. I'm not saying that I'm 100% authentic. I got a lot of work to do and I'm only 18. Some of us are forced to look inwards and grow first before meeting the right people and attracting the right people, because maybe the universe is forcing you to wake up and see like these aren't your people. If you're feeling misunderstood, if you're feeling unheard, unseen, you need to go back into yourself and do the work and figure yourself out and accept this part of yourself first so that you can attract these connections and find your people, find the opportunities that are meant to come your way. The world might not always be able to understand you or really see you, but that doesn't mean that what you have to say or what you're thinking or what you're feeling isn't valid. It actually really is. It's just you haven't found your right people yet, but they are coming. But anyways, friends, I really enjoyed today's episode, the first episode of Thought Daughter Diaries ever. Oh my god, I feel like I was like this the whole episode. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to be here every Thursday. We can come and chat, hang out. There'll be different topics to talk about. You guys can give me suggestions. And yeah, I'm really excited about where this podcast is going. I really love it. Just remember, there is a place for you. There is people out there for you. And there's nothing wrong at all with being a deep girly and feeling different and voicing that and accepting that. And if you feel like in your real day-to-day life you don't have a place to come to or a community of people who understand you or friends or whatever it is, this is your podcast, your safe space. And I really hope that I can help bring and embrace this side of you out, because that's what I needed the most when I was going through things. If you would like to make sure you're here every Thursday, subscribe, hit the like button, you can comment, talk to me. I love responding to you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Thought Daughter Diaries, and I will see you next Thursday.